In this video, we're going to talk about unreal and mixed conditionals. Those are hypothetical or unreal ideas. So let's analyze these two examples to see how we use each of them. If we studied Japanese, we would travel to Japan to practice it. Or the second one, if we had learned English when we were children, we would have been speaking it for many years. Those are hypotheses, both of them. The first one, we can say that it has a present context because it means that maybe if we had the possibility to study Japanese, so we would go to Japan, but the reality is different. As we are studying English, so it is better to go to an English spoken country because it's the one that we can practice in a real context. So we can say that in this one we are using the second conditional. So it's a hypothesis or a hypothetical situation in present. In the second one, if we had learned English when we were children, so we understand that when we talk about it at that moment is past tense, we would have been speaking it for many years. So imagine that if we started in the past learning English, so at this moment we have practiced the English for a lot of years, right? But what is the reality? Well, the reality is that we are learning English now. So it is a result based on something we would like to be different in the past. But the reality is that we are learning now, so it means that when we were children, we didn't do it. So we can say that in this case, it's a hypothesis of something that happened in the past and that could have a result in present tense. However, it is not real. So as it is not real, we are talking about the third conditional. Look at the structures, right? In second conditional, we have simple past and would plus base form. And in the third conditional, we have the past perfect in the if clause and would have been, would have plus past participle in the second clause, right? Let's check the structures of these two conditionals. So we have that second conditional is compound of if plus simple past in the time clause in the if clause. Then we have the main clause that is compound of would plus the base form. Remember, we can also use could when we talk about possibility or ability, like the past tense of can. So we say that we use the second conditional when we talk about a hypothetical situation in the present or future. So it is going to have a present or future context, and we know that it is an activity that is not really happening, right? If he had a dog, he would go running every day, but the reality is that he doesn't have that dog. This is an example that we can have in mind. Then we have the third conditional. In this case, you can see both of them together so that we can compare them. The usage says that it is an imaginary situation in the past. So both of them are hypothetical, both of them are imaginary. But the second conditional has a context in present, while third conditional has its context in past. So in the if clause, we are going to use past perfect, right? And in the main clause, we are going to have like the past the past modal auxiliary, that in this case is would plus have plus past participle. So if he had won the competition, he would have received a medal. But the reality is that he didn't do it. I mean, he hadn't won the competition, and at this moment the medal is just a dream. It wasn't true. So we don't have any result in the present that can make us think that he won the medal. Now let's see these two other examples. These ones are similar to the previous ones, right? The ones that we studied, but if you notice, the structures are kind of mixed. So we have, if we spoke Japanese, we would travel to Japan to practice it. Supposing that we speak Japanese, right? But that the reality is not that. So we had traveled to Japan to practice. It is something that could happen before because we say that we speak it. But it is not the reality. The reality is that we are studying English right now. So we have here simple past, and then we have would plus have plus past participle in the second part. So in this case, we have one part that is none, part of the second conditional, and the second part is based on the third conditional structure. Then the other example, if we had learned English, notice that we are using past perfect in the if clause. When we were children, it is similar to the example that we previously saw. We wouldn't study it now. In the second part, we have would plus study. In this case, would in negative. So it means that we are studying because we did not do it in the past. So we have a result in the present related to what we were supposed to do. In this case, we have past perfect and we have would plus base form. If you notice in the first part, in the if clause, we have the third conditional, but the second part is the second conditional. This structure that we are seeing here is called mixed conditional. So we are mixing the second and the third conditional parts in order to give a different meaning. What is the meaning? So let's see it in the next chart. In mixed conditional, we can have the first form, third plus second conditional. So it means that in the if clause, we are going to have the third, past perfect. And in the second part, in the second clause, we have the second conditional, would plus verb, plus base form. So what is the usage? Why are we using it in this way? It is expressing a present result of a past situation. For example, if I had paid attention to you, I wouldn't do it. So the result is that I wouldn't do it, right? But the condition that I have there is that in the past, I had to pay attention to you and I didn't do it, right? So this is a present result of a past situation. Then we have the other way of mixing it, second and third conditional, right? So it means in the if part, we have the second conditional. And in the the second part, we have the third conditional. So it's would plus have plus past participle. This one is expressing a past result of a present situation. So the result is the one that is in past tense, or the one that is related to the third conditional. If I were good in math, if I were good now, right? Remember that is the second conditional part that is expressing present situation. If I were good in math, I would have helped you to study, right? But the reality is that I'm not good on that, so I couldn't help you. This is what it's saying. So the situation is in present, being good, and the result was in past. I didn't help you, right? Because I didn't have the knowledge. So based on these examples, now it's time to practice. Let's complete the exercises related to unreal and mixed conditionals.